5 seconds.
Hello. Yes, sir. I hope I'm good. Started? Good morning, Mr. Speaker, my government and my audience. Today, the motion that we are talking about is balanced parliamentary opposition is essential for democracy. Now, we the opposition, we believe what my government has defined, that balanced parliamentary opposition is important for democracy. But I don't agree with the fact that balanced parliamentary opposition is essential for democracy. I would like to seek my attention of Mr. Speaker that balanced parliamentary opposition is important for democracy, not essential. Because important is something without which we can do a thing, but essential is something without which we cannot carry on. For example, you are allowed to drive your car without wearing your shoes. Wearing your shoes is important, but wearing a seat belt is essential. That is the basic difference. Now, before going to the details of essential and importance, I won't be defining democracy. My second respected speaker will be talking about democracy in details. Now, I would like to talk about balanced parliamentary opposition. Now, the status of the opposition primarily concerns the parliamentary opposition, which will scrutinize the government effectively. Now, what is the job of the opposition? The job of the opposition is to oppose, and the word is basically accountability. To accountable the government for the unlawful means that the government is doing and that is not desirable for the citizen, or the administrative, or the legislative, or the judiciary. All the separation of powers to check and balance on that is the job of the opposition. And yes, that's why I'm saying opposition is later. The balanced parliamentary opposition is important for democracy. Now, why I say this, I'll explain a bit later. Now, why am I saying that balanced parliamentary opposition is important? Why isn't it essential? Because there are a lot of ways by which you can listen.
Okay, is this on the previous point or the current point?
Sir, I wanted to talk about he says separation
The
of powers
previous
is not
point.
needed. Yes.
The previous point. Out there.
Sure.
As you say that separation of power is not essential, I would like to tell you all the facts where you can say that
I did not say separation power is not essential. I said to check and balance the separation of powers is the job of the opposition.
The legislation, judiciary and executive is not
To check, no, I did not say that. I said to check whether the legislation is separated, the judiciary is separated, the executive is separated. That is the job of the opposition.
Job of the opposition, so that opposition needs to be strong, right?
That opposition needs to be present. Now, my next point will prove that without opposition.
Prime Minister, I think the point has been clarified. So you can take it.
I'm coming to next point how this can also be clarified. Let's talk about the European countries. We have political and social groups that says or that forms campaigns to accountable the government. For example, in UK, there was a campaign called the UK Cannabis Campaign. The law was made by the Home of Commons. It was made by the elected representatives.
House of Commons, you mean?
Yes, sir. That was being heard by the House of Lords too. A topic like this. There were campaigns. For example, there were pressure groups, lobbying organizations. They ensure that the problem and... I have a point of information, please. Later. The problems and the essential needs of the citizens are reached to the desks of the MPs. There was another case, another example. All Britain Anti-Poll Tax Federation, which led to abolition to the deeply unpopular toll tax in 1990. The law was changed by the campaign, by the people. It went to the House of Lords. What did the opposition do? It was a balanced parliament. There was a balanced parliamentary opposition. What did the opposition do? Nothing. It was the campaign that made it possible so that the law was changed. What happened in Brexit? The government wasn't strong enough. What happened in Brexit? There was a balanced parliament. 52% voted for the judgment that the parliament did.
Brexit isn't decided yet.
I did not tell you to ask me a question. I told you to stop. Now, let's talk about Bangladesh. What do we have in Bangladesh? We have environmental watchdogs. We have social war. For example, Bela, Shujan. What happened in Nusrat Marokis? The case was solved at God's speed, in a blink of an eye. How? By the protests, by the journals, by the campaigns of students. What did the opposition do? I would like to ask my audience, go to the roads, ask any citizen, who is our official opposition? Tell me. It's BNP. No, it's BNP. Ask any citizen. But who is our opposition? We know it's Jatiyo Party. But is BNP shut? We know BNP has only 7 seats, but they're not shut. The parliament has a rule. They don't discriminate. Each and every parliament member is allowed to talk equal amount of time against the government to accountable the government. Let's say my government might ask the question, in our country, in Bangladesh, the ministers are MPs, the MPs are ministers, and both are government people. So how, if they pass any law, how be weak opposition if there is no balanced opposition? If there is no balanced opposition, how will they accountable the government? Now let me tell you, there are many cases that the government tried to do something unlawful against the citizen that the citizen didn't desire or didn't want the government should implement. What happened at that time? There was judiciary, there was parliamentary committee that sat and opposed and yes, please.
As you say that there was judiciary and everything. Now I would like to say why till now in Bangladesh Judicial Pay Commission is not been established. Why? The government told that they are going to establish, but they have not established. The remuneration is not the remuneration that the judiciary will get is on the hands of the executive and the legislative body. Why is it? Why? Why is it? Why the judiciary is not given?
Let's not spread propaganda. Let's stick to our point that the last time the government, your time is up.
I want
the last
answers.
time,
I want answers.
I'm giving answers. What am I doing? The last time the government wanted to amend the constitution for the 16th time, what did our opposition do? My audience, my balanced parliament, parliamentary opposition, what did they do? What did they do? They did nothing. Who was the one who opposed the government to not amend the constitution for the 16th time? It was the judiciary. It was the Chief Justice. And now, some internal things happened. Something happened to the judiciary. The Chief Justice went on leave. We don't know what happened. Let's not judge them. We don't know. The next time something happens like this, if we cannot accountable the government, then we will raise the topic that yes, we don't have judiciary, we don't have parliamentary committee.
Member of the parliament, I would allow the Prime Minister.
Sure.
As you are manipulating the fact that the judiciary, the Chief Justice was out of his duty and everything. Now my thing is, who made this? The government thought they had the whole authority and they were neglecting judiciary. They were doing according to their wish. They were not giving the judiciary the enough power to do what they wanted to do. So my question is,
so
show some facts that the government has done in the beneficiary of judiciary. I want to hear something like that.
Okay, should I talk? When I'm talking, please don't interrupt. So, what you are trying to say, what Prime Minister is trying to say is that the government did not give judiciary any power, but judiciary had the power to stop the amendment. So judiciary wasn't powerful enough, right? But it means I don't have any power, but I'm stopping the judiciary, I'm stopping the government to amend the constitution, right? So how can you do without your power? You had power. The government gave you power because judiciary is superior to that. Our law is superior to that. Everyone has to bow down in front of law. Being lawyers, we have to believe that.
This is clarified, and I cannot.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, 20.
Once again, you still have your rebuttal period when you can establish that he was giving wrong information.
Sir, can I have 20 seconds?
Just 20 seconds.
Yes, sir. So what my point was, it was basically, if we have a strong opposition, then it is good. We have all the medias, journals, we have the watchdogs, we have the opposition, we can all go and accountable the government. But if we do not have any opposition, that doesn't matter. That means opposition is just important, it's not essential. Thank you very much.
Now we are.